another person blaming Joe Biden for inflation. Not just here in the United States, but globally, apparently, since we had global inflation. This person says the Inflation Reduction Act was a huge part of inflation. Pumping money into an economy that is shut down is bad for inflation numbers. The country wasn't shut down when we passed the Inflation Reduction Act. We had come out of the shutdown. We were dealing in the backlash, the aftermath. Birds are going nuts out there. We were dealing with the backlash, the aftermath of the nation being shut down. And yes, pumping money into the country does help inflate inflation. So does corporate greed. So does a fucked up supply chain. These are all factors that went into the inflation that we had. But let me ask you a question. If pumping money into a country that's shut down causes inflation, then why aren't you talking about the 2 rounds of stimulus that we got under Donald Trump when the nation was actually shut down? When Republican and Democratic governors alike were shutting their states down, and we decided as a nation we needed to stimulate the economy, and so we sent out 2 rounds of stimulus checks under Donald Trump. Why is it that when Joe Biden signed one stimulus package, one Inflation Reduction Act bill, one of any of those things, then that is what led to inflation? But when Donald Trump did it, it didn't lead to inflation. That wasn't a factor. That wasn't a problem. We didn't have a problem when Donald Trump does this shit, but we have a problem when Joe Biden does this shit. This is the hypocritical nature of you fucking people. Let me just make sure everybody's perfectly clear where I stand. All 3 rounds of stimulus were a mistake. I'll repeat that. All 3 rounds, the 2 under Donald Trump and the 1 under Joe Biden, all 3 of them were a mistake. They should have never happened. Stimulus should have been targeted towards people that needed it, not just sending everybody a check. Enhanced unemployment should have been targeted instead of just giving it to everybody. We should have thought about a way of creating some form of temporary universal basic income in order to keep families afloat. Giving a family $1,500 one time does shit. I mean, my mortgage is $1,400. You know what I mean? Giving a family $1,500 one time doesn't do shit. If you help a family stay afloat because of circumstances out of their control costing them their job, then all of a sudden you got something to talk about. All 3 stimuluses were done poorly, and they were all 3 a mistake. Having said that, you can't just look at one and go, hey, this was a problem. Or in this case, not a stimulus, the Inflation Reduction Act, and say, this is a problem. Pumping money into the economy by the federal government is a problem, and then ignore the fact that the last guy did it twice. You don't get it both ways. You don't get to cheer him when he does it and then say it's bad when this guy does it. That makes you a fucking hypocrite.